Hello students and YouTubers, welcome back to Mr. Grant's home studio. It is a mess right now. As requested, we are going to do a video on how to draw portraits from the basic level on up. So there are basically 3 levels that I'm going to follow through because I don't know what level you are starting at as an artist. Okay, so the first level I wanted to talk about when drawing portraits is the basic level. Okay, so at the basic level, the goal of art is to symbol recognize. So what I want you to do is to draw several circles on your paper and basically try to draw as many different emotions that you can capture or recognize. Because in a portrait situation, one of the main goals is beginning at the basic level is symbol creation, symbol making. You're recognizing the world around you and you're drawing it as symbols, that something you see is represented visually. So with portrait making, that's super important stage to start at. And it's no less important than any other stage. In fact, it might actually be more important to come back to the basic level. Because if I ask students what emotions they can draw, what faces they can draw, and the expressions on the faces they can draw, they often get caught up too much in detail instead of drawing the face with an actual feeling or emotion attached. Everybody knows happy, everybody knows sad, but very few people can get further than that. There is another part of the face that shows expression that very few people draw. Do you guys know what it is? Everybody knows the mouth shows expression and the eyes, but very few people draw the eyebrows. The eyebrows are one of the most important parts of the face to show expression. So teachers and students alike are often stuck back at this basic stage, and that's okay because art is the most important part of art is a form of communication. At the basic stage, I see students that usually start by drawing a face, arms and legs. That's called a tick person. And then they graduate and move up to drawing a stick person. But with an advanced or more of an intermediate level stage artwork, I'm trying to teach you, my goal is to teach you to draw shape people. Okay? And my goal is, at the intermediate level, is to start to show you the difference between people. We're not just drawing a person as a symbol where everybody looks the same. We're now trying to draw individuality. So what I would recommend you do to step up from the basic level is start by drawing a U on your paper. Okay? And then after I draw the U, I tell you to draw 4 lines. We always follow the rule of halves when we draw portraits in art. That means I'm going to draw 4 lines inside my U. Inside my U, let's pretend this is the whole entire head. My eyes will always be found first when I'm drawing a portrait. And my eyes will always be in the middle of the head. So I put 2 lines in the middle of the head for the eyes. After that point, I try to find the middle between the nose and the chin. Now that I have my eyes in the middle, the next halfway point I'm looking for is my nose. So I put another line halfway between my nose and my chin. After that point, I'm going to find my next halfway point, which is my mouth. My mouth now comes down halfway between my nose and my chin. That's a good halfway point. So I've started a portrait. I can do this now super fast. And this helps me draw people and characters much more quickly. One of the problems I have with how people draw at this stage is they often quickly scribble their hair in. I get them to draw the face with more detail, even eyebrows, even a nose, and maybe even ears, but they scribble the hair. Your hair, if you scribble it, is never going to be recognizable or different. The point of this stage is to notice the world around you and generalize it. Okay? Don't try to draw every strand of hair in the head. Don't try to draw every leaf on a tree. You have to generalize things into shapes. To be able to draw quicker and make things a little easier for you and make it more fun for you. Okay? So let's say we have our eyes, our nose, and our mouth drawn. The next thing I would do, whether it's a boy or a girl, is draw the hair. So for a girl, a lot of times what I'll tell them to do is to draw the letter V on the top of the head. What I'm drawing right now looks silly. Looks like a house sitting on top of someone's head. But what I'm really drawing are the bangs of the hair, the inside shape of the hair. I bring it all the way to the edges. And then after I do my V shape, I draw the letter N right over top of the head. Now it's a little lopsided, you can see, but that is basically how I draw a girl's hair. If it doesn't make sense to you still, I would draw a curved half of a U for the neck. And then sometimes I have the hair come in front of the neck, and sometimes I have it go behind the neck. But that's, and she has no eyebrows or eyelashes. My eyelashes, I put on the eyes for girls because they wear eyelash makeup. I very rarely do lips for girls at this stage. If I did, I'll show you on the next page, the more advanced level, how I would show lips. But that's a girl, and for my boy, most boys that have short hair, I do what looks like a staple line that's scribbly. So a staple meaning like this. That's for my bangs. And then around the head, if they have short hair, I draw a line around the top of the head. This creates a shape that can have texture in it, and it can be colored in. Okay? There's my eyebrows. I have a girl, and here's my boy. I'm going to make my neck a little bit wider than the girls, but not any longer. And my shoulders, I'm going to have them over curve out instead of what I did with the girl's shoulders is I undercurved my line. For the boy, I overcurved it to give him a little bit more of a muscular build. For a body, it's real simple, boys or girls. I draw the letter H, and then I draw an I for the legs, and then I draw half a circle for the feet, and I draw, for the hands, I draw the line straight down for the arms. And for the hands, I draw a quarter of a circle and a quarter of a circle for a thumb. Now he's got short legs, but I'm going to run out of space. Same thing with the girl. I just curve my H a little bit, and that's it, just to make it a little more feminine. Sometimes I do a dress, but it's the same thing, and that's the basics of how to draw a portrait with simple shapes. At the advanced level, if you really want to know more detail, I'll give you more detail. So I sketched out a head here ahead of time. There's a little circle here, and your cranium is a circle shape, the bone in your head. But then below your cranium is a bone called the mandible. That's your jawbone. Everybody's jawbone's a little different, and everybody's makeup is a little different. This is the general shape. Your head is not a perfect circle. And your eyes are not way up in the middle, top of your head like an emoji. That would freak me out if I saw someone in real life like that. Their mouth would be way too huge, and your eyes would be up in the middle where your hair would normally sit. So for the eyes in a realistic head, again, they're going to be smack dab in the middle of the head if you're looking straight forward. They're going to be almond shaped. Okay, and they need to be the same, even though mine are not perfect because I'm trying to go quickly. Got about 6 minutes. And first thing we're going to do is draw the lemon shape eye. Okay, everybody's eyes are a little different depending on their nationality, but after this, what people forget to draw are the eyelids. A lot of people have this fold in their eye called an eyelid. After that point, I noticed that people draw the color retina of their eye, and they draw it as a circle inside their eye, and then they draw the pupil as a dot in the middle, and then they draw their eyelashes as spikes coming out of the eye. And that's a little bit freaky, guys, to be honest. So what I do to teach you to make it look more kind of friendly and not so creepy is I teach you guys that I give you guys mirrors to look in, and I tell you that your color part is very big, makes up most of your eye. So I tell you to draw C shapes inside your eyes for the color part and giant black parts. Now there are different ways to do this with anime style eyes, but this is my basic beginning. So now we have a black part of pupil, retina, eyelid, eye shape of a football or a lemon shape, and then the last thing is eyelashes. So the way I do eyelashes is I don't draw them up. I draw something called foreshortening. And foreshortening means your eyelashes don't come out of the top of your eye, they come out of your eyelid, if you drew an eyelid. Your eyelashes point outward. They don't point up. So if this were the top of my eye, I would curve it like this, and as I come towards the middle of my eye, they get super tiny. See that? That's called foreshortening. As objects come forward towards you, they shorten. For my nose, I'm going to move on quickly. I got a couple minutes left. For the nose, my tips for you are this. Remember, you put a little mark where halfway point between your eyes and your chin. You guys always seem to start to draw the details first. But it's important to know the proportions first. That's why I always start with the emotions first. Then we move on to proportions, which is the U plus the 4 lines. And now we're getting into the advanced part, which is all the details about the parts. So with the nose, I say draw the letter U. And when I mean U, I don't mean a giant U. I mean a little bit of a curved U. I always draw a little curve at the ends, but not that big. Very flat curve. And then at the end of that, I draw a J on each side of my nose. Don't draw your middle of your nose too deep, and don't draw your J's lower than the middle of your nose. That will look weird if you draw a nose like that. I draw them, my J shapes curving out and curving up. Whoops, that one's a little too small. I see I messed up a little bit. So I'm going to draw my mouth last, okay? So I have my U and my J shape for my nose. Moving on to the mouth details, I'm going to draw the line for the mouth. But what most people don't draw at the intermediate stage is they don't notice the lips, especially boys. They don't usually want to draw the lips. So for lips, really quickly, what I would tell you to do is draw the letter M and the letter U. So you have your mouth, and now I need to draw lips. Most cartoons don't have lips. When I say M, I don't mean an M like this, and I don't mean a U like this. I mean, there's sometimes a little slight curve to the upper lip. Either way, your lips, whether they're big or very thin, they point to the ends of the mouth. Same with your bottom lip, points to the ends of the mouth. If you don't want your lips this large, practice. Okay, make your top lip thinner and make your bottom lip thinner. It may match the way you look a little better. The last thing is the ears and the hair. So the hair is pretty much the same as the last page, but the ears, remember your ears, the only way people wear glasses is because their ears are level with their eyes. I always start my ears at the eye level and end them at the nose level. Your nose and your ears are almost always the exact same size. They're parallel to each other on every human being. Okay, so I always draw my ears the same height as my eyes, top of my eyes to the bottom of my nose. That's why I draw them last. Okay, and for my ears, I draw the letter C smashed in, kind of like that. Not so wide of a C with big giant taxi cab door ears, but I draw these little curved ears, and then I draw the letter F, a lowercase f, inside the ear. And I hope that helps you guys out. Girls sometimes don't draw their ears because their hair is covering it. Okay? And those are my basics. My neck, if you guys check your neck, this is a big point where people mess up. Their neck doesn't come out of their chin. Typically what I see on a neck for most students is they draw their neck coming out of their chin. Especially when they're nervous, they draw smaller. I see shoulders that are little bumps, and they're not even as big as their head. If that was a real person, their head would fall over. So make sure that your neck is coming out a little bit wider, but not super far down. That's not a very super far long down neck. Okay, it's wider but not longer. In my shoulders, if you check a real person's shoulders, if you get that far in your artwork, your shoulders are 3 heads wide on a regular adult. An adult has their shoulders 3 heads wide and their body 7.5 heads tall. We'll get into that in another video. But just keep that in mind that you guys are probably drawing your shoulders probably not wide enough, and they're probably not enough of a little bit of a slope to the shoulders. And so for here, there's so many different variations to what you could do for portraiture and how you can draw yourself as a unique character or draw characters in your stories as unique and different.